You watch Cars 2 because you like the action and it gives you nostalgia. I watch Cars 2 just to on it. We're not the same. Well, in any cases, welcome back to Hexbots Heat J. Last time it was Scorcher finally making it to a tournament after 2 series of backlash and goodbye, and the New Blood Tournament runner-up Komodo Dragon going to the tournament, and Duck awaiting their way in the Desperado Tournament. Now we've got Viper Shot, Blacksmith, Hammerhead Shark, Demo Derby, and Destroya. Destroya, we've already seen them last year with Petrify, who actually is going to the tournament, believe it or not. But let's see who might actually take this. I hope Viper Shot could do well because it's been a while since we've seen them. So let's see if they have all the things to play out. And hopefully for the rest of the competitors. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Viper Shot up to speed and Blacksmith hammering at, well, nothing. Viper Shot is good to be back. And same with Blacksmith. Blacksmith's still hammering with that hammer, so it's not dead yet, folks. Keep your eyes peeled for this. Viper Shot continues to hit Blacksmith with their weapon. However, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Blacksmith hammers down with the hammer. It's some nice hits there from Blacksmith. Onto Viper Shot. Viper Shot trying to evade, but it doesn't do much, however. Viper Shot still trying to push around Blacksmith. It gets him onto the wedge. That's some good control there from Viper Shot. Some nice hits flicking up the hammer on Blacksmith. But Blacksmith is trying to get down. Can he get unstuck? Viper Shot is just eyeing him down with its golden eye. Like, you know, something from like 007. But, however, Blacksmith gets free and Viper Shot trying to recover right now. Blacksmith, you know, they've been pretty on top so far in this fight. However, just because of them getting on the wedge doesn't mean that they're actually doing well in this fight. As they get themselves on the wedge, I don't know, the shelf. Why would they do that? I don't know why. Viper Shot, that was a nice hit there from Viper Shot. However, just ricocheted off of Blacksmith's wedge, and he just gets on the wedge again. What is it with them going on the wedge? Viper Shot aiming him down. What were they doing? What were they doing? I don't know. Blacksmith goes on the shelf. Why are they doing this? It's anyone's guess by this point. Anyways, Blacksmith trying to evade that dangerous spinner on Viper Shot. Viper Shot made it to the tournament twice. However, I think didn't get close to the quarterfinals as far as I think. Yeah, they're like a top dog seed in the Series 2 bracket, but just didn't do much. And then Viper Shot now getting pinned up by Blacksmith. And Viper Shot is on the wedge. So that's a bit of some karma for them. Can they get free is the question. Blacksmith eyeing them down. And wait, what? What were Blacksmith doing? They had a total opportunity of winning against Viper Shot and they just threw it away. My goodness. And oh, look at that! The belt, the weapon belt on Viper Shot is gone. Oh, goodness me. Well, that's going to be some tiring times for them. I guess all that karma from them backing down and just putting Blacksmith on the shelf and the wedge. Ah, goodness me. It's like a couple trying to go out for an easy dinner, but they don't know where to go. Blacksmith hammering the top of Viper Shot. However, it's going to go to the judges. So this is a pretty close fight, in my opinion. What a fight this is. Cease. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. We have a split decision. Judge 1 scored the battle for Viper Shot. Judge 3 scored the battle for Blacksmith. And Judge 2 scored the battle for the winner, Blacksmith. Well, rightfully so. Blacksmith will get himself with 2 points and Viper Shot with 1. Thankfully, they're still at least at the top of the leaderboard. Well, that is, because we got our next fight between Hammerhead Shark and Demo Derby. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Demo Derby up to speed. It's great to see this robot back, and we'll sing with Hammerhead Shark, but Hammerhead Shark isn't necessarily a talking point so far in this heat. Unless, you know, something crazy happens. Big hit there from Demo Derby. Demo Derby didn't make it to the tournament last year, which is a pretty big shame because they made... Pretty sure they made 3rd place. No, they made it 2nd place in last year's tournament as they're pushed back now by Hammerhead Shark. Hammerhead Shark trying to evade. Demo Derby goes on the wedge or shelf. I give up at this point. I should probably just get rid of either one. It just call it a day. I would have brought back the screws. Well, in any case, it's Demo Derby being pushed around there by Hammerhead Shark, so that's a bit something. Demo Derby, maybe they're trying to use the claws. I think Demo Derby are trying to use the claws, but it's not doing much. Big hits, I guess little hits there from Demo Derby as Hammerhead Shark, it used to have a weapon, but it just died. How come you're bringing a dead weapon to Hexbots? Another nice deflected hit there by Demo Derby. Demo Derby, another nice hit by them. However, I think it's just hitting off of their own weapon from what I'm seeing. Demo Derby being pushed around by Hammerhead Shark, but yet nothing special. Hammerhead Shark, yeah, no, Demo Derby trying to use the claws. However, it just can't exactly push Hammerhead Shark until there. So they do have the pushing power against Hammerhead Shark because of those, well, rather awkward wheels on Hammerhead Shark. Decided to just go with those things instead of, like, actual tracks. I've still yet to wonder about... Oh! Demo Derby nearly escapes the wedge there. Now Demo Derby trying to line up a shot, and it wasn't that impressive. Well, Demo Derby so far, out of the two, they've just been the more impressive robot so far. So, can they do much? Another nice hit there from Demo Derby. I don't know, big hits in there from Demo Derby. However, they're on the shelf. Demo Derby on the shelf! Look at that! And Hammerhead Shark are just gonna win by just sheer magic. How is this real? Well, that is definitely a fight I won't expect. Hammerhead Shark get themselves at 3 points, even though they don't have an active weapon. How surprising. Well, anyways, next up we've got Viper Shot up against Destroyer. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. The veteran vertical spinner of Viper Shot against the rookie Destroyer. Destroyer gets his top panel removed. Destroyer trying to get free. It just gets stuck on the wedge. And that's actually how we came up with the wedge, is because, well, the pit was just annoying. And, well, I guess Destroyer is just gonna die immediately in its fight. Viper Shot, well, they're gonna take the 3 points. Well, at this point, Destroyer should just keep their lifter up for the rest of it. Because if so, it just activates their demise, and, well, there you go. Viper Shot with 4 points ahead of Hammerhead Shark, as now we move on with Blacksmith, as he faces Demo Derby. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Demo Derby up to speed. Nice hit there from Demo Derby, recovering after that devastating loss to, well, Hammerhead Shark. But Demo Derby is on the wedge! Why are you doing this to me? Demo Derby is on the wedge, and it looks like Blacksmith is going to take his 3 points as well. Well, how about that? Blacksmith gonna win, and Demo Derby go out with another loss. Now Demo Derby's gonna have to think of something fast in order to get their season back on track. Because they have 2 dead straight knockouts, and that is not good for them. Blacksmith get themselves with 5 points ahead of the leaderboard, but now he will face Hammerhead Shark for another round. 3, 2, 1... activate. Let the battle begin. Blacksmith starting off strong, hammering the top of Hammerhead Shark. Ironic because Hammerhead Shark, well, is a hammerhead. Except, well, not in this fight because it just looks like any ordinary pushing bot. That also doesn't know what it's doing. Anyways, Hammerhead Shark trying to attack Blacksmith. Blacksmith hammering the top of... Sorry, on Hammerhead Shark. Trying to push it around. Blacksmith, however, getting pushed back there. I guess is the force from the hammer. And Blacksmith, I think, just got lifted up by Hammerhead Shark. But Blacksmith doing honors and doing it again. And pushing back Hammerhead Shark. Hammerhead Shark does not have any ground game. I mean, for what I've seen in this fight, because that little plow thing at the front is just made to push back a robot and not actually get underneath of it. Well, that's a wasted opportunity there. And a Hammerhead Shark gets it's lost a little fin at the top of it. Oh, let's see what happens next. Blacksmith hammers the top of Hammerhead Shark. It takes off the other fin off of Hammerhead Shark, so now it's finless and cannot glide around the water. Like I said, this is an arena, and it's a plastic-made robot. So what do you expect, kids? Blacksmith pushing back on Hammerhead Shark. It's being pushed back again there from Blacksmith. Can it get away? It's trying to, but Blacksmith just keeps coming back and hammering the top of it, trying to say, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Just go back to sleep already. I mean, yeah, so it's been nearly, I think, like almost 5 months since the last time, maybe even longer since we've seen them. So it's dormant. It's been really quiet in this, and Blacksmith trying to eye them down. Yeah, Blacksmith, forgot to mention, he and Destroyer are probably some of the oldest robots ever made. Except Destroyer has a new model, even though his old model was made like years ago. And same with this Blacksmith. And Blacksmith hammering the top of Hammerhead Shark as he tries to evade that big giant hammer on Blacksmith. Can they exactly do much to Blacksmith? Because it feels like in this fight it's just doing nothing. Well, in any case, Blacksmith trying to do something. It hammers the top of Hammerhead Shark. Blacksmith almost goes on the wedge. Thank God they get away. And Blacksmith hammering the top of Hammerhead Shark once more. I think, if anything, if it goes to a judge's decision, there's no way in hell Hammerhead Shark is winning. Because Blacksmith is just doing all the damage, all the control. Yeah, we're going to a judge's decision. Blacksmith has so far been the more dominant robot in the fight, and I would likely see them winning this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered yet another judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Blacksmith. Blacksmith now up to 7 points. Hammerhead Shark and Viper Shot are left in the dust. However, that might change as we have our next fight, Viper Shot up against Demo Derby. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. 2 devastating spinners up to speed, Demo Derby and Viper Shot. Take your bets on who might win, because I'm not putting my votes on Demo Derby because their season really sucks this season. They have 2 knockout losses against Hammerhead Shark and Blacksmith. But now they're up against an even deadlier foe in Viper Shot. And Viper Shot trying to pin around Demo Derby. And it looks like Demo Derby's just trying to end it here. Are they? No, they get away. And Viper Shot are trying to eye them down. A nice hit there from Viper Shot onto Demo Derby. Demo Derby are also still trying to use the claws to their advantage. However, they haven't done much throughout this whole series. It's done well against Hammerhead Shark, but that was it until it just practically killed itself at the end. In any cases, Viper Shot trying to eye down Demo Derby. A nice hit there from Viper Shot onto the disc of Demo Derby. Demo Derby trying to get away, and Viper Shot gets stuck on the shelf. I might as well just call both of them the wedge at this point. Like, the wedge 1 is at the back, and the wedge 2 is like you toward the camera. Viper Shot pushing around Demo Derby. It gets locked. Both spinners have locked in. I don't mean that in a weird way, but they both have locked horns, but they get free. Viper Shot and Demo Derby doing a little spin there. Ooh, a nice hit there from Viper Shot onto Demo Derby, and another nice hit, launching back Demo Derby right into the wedge, and now they get stuck on the shelf. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh, never mind. Well, there goes my money this time. Well, it was well rested. Viper Shot is going to take another easy 3 points. Demo Derby really sucks this season. I'm sorry. Well, this is going to be unfortunate to say, but Demo Derby's season is probably going to end. Actually, no, his end is actually inevitable. As, well, unfortunate for Demo Derby. I was excited for him to see him back in action, but sadly some things must come to an end. As now we bring in the rookie Destroyer as he faces Hammerhead Shark. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Destroya versus Hammerhead Shark. Hammerhead Shark is so far have, I'm pretty sure, 4 points. And Destroya with nothing because they just lost to Vipershot from just also getting themselves on the shelf. Any cases, Destroya so far in 4th place because Demo Derby is just now completely out of the series. After the 3, count 'em, 3 knockout losses, and Destroya goes up on the shelf, but they get free. I guess they were trying to confuse Hammerhead Shark for a moment to see if they'd get the win, but I guess not. Destroya, based around the Kaiju from Godzilla vs. Destroya from 1995, infamous for, well, child murder. Let's just say that. Destroya, famous for, that. I'm not trying to laugh right now because that is actually how the movie went. I'm not going to spoil it because I want you to watch it. In any case, it's Destroya pushing around Hammerhead Shark. Both of them really not doing anything this much. Destroya still has its weapon moving. However, it hasn't gotten a single bite on Hammerhead Shark. Oh, I thought it almost got a little nice hit there. And there! Finally, he gets a hit onto Hammerhead Shark right on the tail. However, I don't really think the tail is really a big weak spot on Hammerhead Shark. If anything, like a big meaty spinner. Maybe like Viper Shot, which it could have done. And there goes the little fork thing on Destroya. That's actually how it cost them the loss against Viper Shot. However, I'm not too sure if it will work today. Like, you know, because Hammerhead Shark is the weakest ground game I've ever seen. Rusty. But, who knows? We might see something that could maybe change this fight. But in any case, Destroya is hesitating to do anything. Hammerhead Shark trying to push them, Destroya around, but it's not working. Destroya, with its little lance thing, it's actually based around the Kaiju's horn itself. And there goes the side panel off of Destroya. So Hammerhead Shark does damage from doing, well, nothing. It just falls off automatically. Destroya, it's a really nice concept and design of a really, really old robot. Like, it's either him, Tank Shell, Death Roll, that were probably the oldest robots. Oh, and Battle Axe. All 4 of those robots are the oldest. But Destroya is just coming back into, well, now a new format. Destroya trying to push around Hammerhead Shark, but again, they just don't seem to be doing much. And I think, if anything, it's going to go to the judges, and I think maybe Destroya can maybe pull something off, and maybe they can maybe pull off a judge's decision win because, well, they've been the more effective robot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered another judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Destroya! Destroya slowly trundling up as it gets up to 4th place. I mean, he now already is in 4th place because Demo Derby is just completely out of the series. How unfortunate. They have 0 points and they have been knocked out 3 times. Hopefully that will change for the better. As next up, Destroya comes back in again as he faces Blacksmith. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Destroya up to speed. Blacksmith again hammering at nothing. At this point, he might as well just hate air at this point. But Blacksmith does some damage and takes off the top panel of Destroya. So, now the little pulley for the weapon is exposed. Viper Shot does not do anything with that. Destroya gliding around the arena. Can Blacksmith do much? Yes, he can. He takes off another front panel off of Destroya. As Destroya eyeing him down. It's actually doing a little something with its little wedge fork thing, kind of like Mad Catter from Battlebots, except now it's a giant-sized kaiju crustacean, sort of, or I guess you could say a really pissed off Mr. Krabs when he doesn't get his money. In any case, Blacksmith pushes back Destroya and does a nice hit close to where the weapon pulley is, so that's something impressive for Blacksmith. Blacksmith now hammering away. I think Blacksmith so far has been the more dominant robot, and I guess I just lied there. Blacksmith now on the wedge. Can they get free? I don't know. Actually, yeah, they can. Blacksmith now being pinned to the corner by Destroya. Nice control there from Destroyer. However, they get themselves stuck on the wedge as well. And Blacksmith doing honors and just smashing the top of Destroyer. Destroyer lucky enough to get away from there. Usually Blacksmith does not allow that. And Blacksmith trying to go around. Can he maybe do something to Destroyer? It's back into the corner. There's Destroyer. I thought Destroyer was just incapacitated for a moment, but I guess not. Blacksmith trying to get free, but Destroyer is just pushing, or no, just trying to bait Blacksmith into the corner. And now he goes back into the corner again, Destroyer. Destroyer trying to do something. Blacksmith, there we go, a nice hit there onto the tail of Destroyer. And Destroyer pushing back Blacksmith. Blacksmith, I think they might have got stuck on Destroyer's top panel. Well, how about that? A robot gets stuck on another robot's top panel. Truly, I've never seen that. And it looks like Destroyer is going to take his first knockout. Oh, Destroyer is going to take his first knockout of the series. What a fight for him. As Blacksmith gets himself stuck on Destroyer's top plate in order to take the win. Now Destroyer is up to 5 points, currently tied with Hammerhead Shark. Now, hopefully this fight should be at least easy for Destroyer, as he faces now the, well, currently out Demo Derby. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. If you thought Destroyer, a rookie, who I thought would do terrible with 5 points and is liable to go to the tournament, I would probably laugh in your face and call you a moron. In any cases, Demo Derby trying to do something, but it gets stuck on the wedge. Oh my god. This year has been a really disappointing year for Demo Derby, and Destroyer is going to take another easy 3 points. Wow, Demo Derby stinks. I think you were kind of expecting this, to be honest. Demo Derby is going to be out of here, and Destroyer with 8 points now leads everybody with 8 points, ahead of Viper Shot and ahead of Blacksmith. Well, Destroyer is definitely here going to be confirmed for the bracket. Maybe. That is if Viper Shot can get the knockout against Hammerhead Shark. I mean, if he at least wins a judge's decision, he can make it to the tournament, and Blacksmith goes to the thing. You know what it is. I mentioned it previously way too many times. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Viper Shot with a nice hit there to the side of Hammerhead Shark. It's the last fight for the both of them. Hammerhead Shark, I'm pretty sure, is going to be... Maybe, if he somehow gets another win, then he maybe can make it to the third place bracket. I'm not too sure at the moment. But who knows? It could maybe sway in the favor as Viper Shot maybe can make the third place battle, as Destroyer and Blacksmith are currently somewhere at the top, and Viper Shot, I'm pretty sure, is at 3 points, so they're trying to do something to maybe recover their season and get them on the wedge, so that's not a good start from them. Viper Shot trying to evade, trying to do some damage there to Hammerhead Shark. They're pushing back Hammerhead Shark into the wedge, no, the shelf. Why do I keep getting them confused? It's like me from last series with Dementia again. Well, in any cases, Viper Shot trying to aim down onto Hammerhead Shark. Hammerhead Shark trying to evade. Can they maybe do something? A nice hit there from Viper Shot. It hasn't shown its destructive power just yet because, well, they're facing a literal brick. But I mind you, if Viper Shot loses their weapon belt, I'm going to have an aneurysm. Because Hammerhead Shark, I guess you could say they've just been really lucky this series. And I thought the lucky dog would be like Demo Derby. However, they got 4 complete knockout losses. Man, I feel bad for Demo Derby. I hope they come back next series with a better design. Anyways, procrastinating again. Viper Shot pushing around Hammerhead Shark. Can it do much to Hammerhead Shark? The weapon spins up again on Viper Shot. Like the big tower vert, like Ocean Man, now known as Ocean Commotion. Trying to say that 3 times fast because I'm not going to. Viper Shot pushing around Hammerhead Shark. A nice hit there and a pin by Viper Shot. Trying to maybe incapacitate, maybe get Hammerhead Shark stuck. I don't know. What can the weapon do? It's maybe something bad, maybe something good. If you remember that, you deserve a veteran's discount. Anyways, I actually just see a fin now falls off of Hammerhead Shark, so the weapon on Viper Shot is at least doing something. It's not causing too much damage because, you know, it's a Vex Robotics piece just slapped together on a Hexbug robot. What do you expect? But in any case, it's Viper Shot trying to push back. Hammerhead Shark, can they do much? They're doing damage to Hammerhead Shark, but can they? Can Hammerhead Shark actually pull off something? I guess not. We are going to a judge's decision, and Viper Shot gets themselves stuck with them. However, we're not going to have it unstick. This is going to be a judge's decision. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Viper Shot. And well, I guess there you go. 7, 8, and 9 in points total. Viper Shot with 9 points, and Destroyer making the surprise comeback with 8 points. Would have just expected a judge's decision with him against Demo Derby if he actually tried. Well, I guess he didn't. And Blacksmith with 7 points. I was 100% expecting him to go to the tournament. Him and Viper Shot, maybe Demo Derby if they actually pinched luck. But I guess not. He goes into the 3rd place Desperado tournament. Viper Shot and Destroyer go to the tournament, whatever the hell. Next for Heat K, we bring back the runner-up of last season, T-Bone, and the newly updated Dragon's Revenge the 3rd. But we're just going to call him Dragon's Revenge because there you go. We'll see you next time.